everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Good afternoon from California. If you're new here, please introduce yourselves in comments. I like to know you and I like to meet you. Where in the world are you tuning in from? And to all of my amazing returning subscribers, I want to say thank you to you guys. You guys are amazing. Thank you for your incredible love. Thank you for your support. I see you and I truly appreciate you. And to those of you that have that have patronized our business, yes, our jewelry business. I want to say big thank you as well. So if you're new here, we just recently launched our 18 karat gold brand. So if you need 18 karat gold jewelry, whether earrings, necklaces, bracelets, everything, it is right on our website. So go to www.chasisejewels.com. I'll leave the link in the chat. www. Sorry, I'm trying to type it just in case it feels I am slow. So www.chasisejewels.com. So go ahead and purchase your amazing pieces. So it's gonna be on the. It should be on the screen. I don't know why it's not even showing. But Anyway, let's get right into today's business. If you're seeing me for the first time, let me introduce myself while you introduce yourself as well. My name is Miriam. I'm based here in California. I'm a wife, a mom, a student, an entrepreneur. I'm also a fashion designer. On this channel, I share 3 videos every week. It's all about grants, how to get grants for your small businesses and what of your non-profits and all of the good stuff. So without wasting your time, let's get right into it. The topic for today is why you should keep showing up. Keep showing up. So hi everyone and welcome back to the live stream. If you're joining today, I want you to do one thing, just one thing for me right now. Type in the chat, where are you watching from? Yes. And tell me one goal that you're currently working on. Yes, I want to know. So maybe you're building a business, you're trying to grow a YouTube channel, or you're trying to lose weight, or you're trying to learn a new skill, or you're trying to learn a new language, or you're simply just trying to improve your life one day at a time. So type it in the chat because today's message is very, very powerful. It's simple, but it's very powerful. And I know that, it sounds really simple, but sometimes the simplest advice is the hardest to follow. The simplest advice for a lot of people is the hardest. An example of that is be consistent. When somebody says be consistent, it sounds really easy, it's simple. But a lot of times people find it really hard to follow. Maybe consistency at the gym, or consistently eating right, or consistently having salads, consistently drinking 2-3 liters of water every day. They are simple, very simple advices, but a lot of times they are hard to follow. And I'll tell you something, showing up is easy when things are going well. Showing up is easy when you're getting results. Showing up is easy when people are clapping for you, when people are supporting you. But guess what? What about when nobody's watching you? What about when the views are low? If you're a content creator, when you're not getting views? What about when the sales are not even coming? You're not making sales in your business. It feels like everything is stuck. What about when you've worked so hard and it feels like nothing is happening? That's when showing up matters the most. You have to keep showing up. And here is the truth about success. Most people think that successful people are somehow different. So I was speaking to one of my moms. I have a lot of moms here in California, and I was speaking with one of them yesterday morning, and she made a statement. She's like, the way you show up for your business, that's how you become a billionaire. One day you wake up on one day and you become a multi-billionaire, and that really encouraged me, because she sees the efforts. Even if nobody sees the efforts, that's where I'm going. Even if nobody sees the effort, you have to keep showing up for yourself no matter what. Even when you're not getting those views, even when it looks like nothing is working out, you still have to keep showing up no matter what. So today I just want to encourage you. I just want to encourage you and see every successful person that you admire right now. They've gone through seasons where you felt like they felt like quitting. I felt like quitting so many times. And a lot of people, like I said, they think successful people are somehow different. See, they imagine that successful entrepreneurs, athletes, creators, and leaders never struggle. A lot of you imagine that, oh, these people don't struggle. Trust me, they do. That's not true. The difference is, just that they keep going after others stop. I remember when I started my YouTube channel back in 2020, we used to, support each other here on YouTube. They call it watch for watch. And over time, a lot of people dropped. I tell you, out of like 2,000 of us, maybe barely 10 I'm not kidding. Barely 10 are still creating content consistently. But are they even up to 10? Are we even up to 10? I'm not joking. You know, successful people keep going. Stop. Excitement fades. Don't wait until you are motivated. Don't wait until you are excited before you show up. Show up even when you're not okay, when you're not feeling like it. You know, people show up, successful people show up even when progress is invincible. Successful people show up. And I think that should address a lot of questions that people ask me all the time. How do you do it? How do you do it? Does it mean I feel like showing up? No, but I don't have to feel like showing up before I show up. That's the difference. We've mastered the art of showing up, the art of consistency. Whether it feels like people are seeing it or not, whether anyone is it, because all it takes is just one breakthrough. One, and your life will change. I mean, I was telling someone yesterday that Rihanna, started singing her music career. And she met Jay Z, and that was it. Imagine if she wasn't showing up. Imagine if she said, nobody is even, I'm not even getting the kind of traction. Like, she kept showing up until she met the right people. You know what I'm saying? Until the right people, came her way. You see? So you have to keep showing up even when you are tired. That is me. I'm telling you, even when I was tired this afternoon, I don't know, for whatever reason, I felt drained. But guess what? I still showed up. Like that feeling cannot overpower me. No, my goal is greater than my feeling, like how I feel at the moment. So show up even when you're tired. Show up even when you're discouraged. Yes, yes, you just have to show up. I remember going to the gym on Thursday, and honestly, I was discouraged. But guess what? That discouragement for me, I've gotten to a point where discouragement is more than enough motivation for me to show up. It's even the motivation for me to show up. The moment it looks like the devil wants to discourage me or drown me or press me down, that's when I get up. Like now you go tired. You have reached the wrong person. This is the wrong audience. So you two think about it. See, every successful person that you've admired, like I said, they've gone through seasons, where they feel like quitting. There have been so many times like that. But the good thing about being an entrepreneur is that, you successful entrepreneurs, or entrepreneurship is simply going through failure after failure and still not losing your momentum. Going through failure. There is a lot of failures. There is more failures in success than success. Just so you know, in case you want me to repeat it, there is a lot of failures in between success that people probably don't get to see or they don't really talk about much. But there's a lot of failures along the way. So you need to embrace that as a fact that okay, no matter what happens, me, I'm pressing on. So you have to keep on pressing on. The difference between successful people and those who quit is that they didn't make a permanent decision based on a temporary feeling. So don't quit because right now you're feeling tired or you're feeling low. No, when you're done, you dust yourself up again and get up again. That is the difference, and it's very important because the truth is feelings actually come and go. You feel good today, you feel terrible later in the day or tomorrow, but it doesn't mean you should quit. Motivation also comes and goes. That's why you have to go beyond motivation. You have to be disciplined. And confidence also comes and goes. There was a time, I don't know why I'm using Rihanna for the most part today. Someone asked a question. What do you do on days that you don't feel confident? She said, fake it. She was the first person that said it, well, that I heard. She was the first celebrity that said, she said, fake it. You have to fake that confidence. That's what she said. Yeah, you can go online and look for the clip. Rihanna said you have to fake that confidence, even when you don't feel like it, even when you're not looking like, I've been in situations. I go for mixers because I joined Chamber of Commerce, and when I go for mixers, sometimes there's a lot of crowd, really directly looking at you when you're walking in. And guess what? I just dust it off like kidney, not seeing the apple. You walk in. So always be confident, and like Rihanna said, fake it, like fake your confidence if you have to, right? Fake it that you're confident on, I mean, if you have to until you get there. But that commitment has to remain. And let me even ask you guys something. Have you ever felt like quitting? Yeah, something that was important to you. Have you ever felt like quitting that thing? Type yes in the chat. Yes. If you've ever felt like giving up on a dream, on a business, a project, or even a goal, type yes in the chat. The truth is, all of us can relate. Yes, not that almost all of us can relate. If you're feeling that way right now, this live stream is actually for you. If you've gotten to a point where you feel like just giving up, you feel like just ending it, you feel like just stopping, like what's the point? That's the more reason why. The point is you have to keep going. You have to keep going. I showed up at, an event, Juneteenth actually, as a matter of fact, on Friday, and I got an interview. Like two ladies walked up to me and said, "Oh, are you up for an interview?" I was like, "Yeah." See, that's one thing I've always preached on this channel. Stay ready. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. I don't have to say, "Oh, what's the topic? Oh, let me think about it. Let me research." No, sweetie, I am ready. Bring it on. And then they gave me the microphone and I continued. I just kept talking. They were like, "Oh, yeah." So so you have to, just show up, keep showing up. And here are some reasons why some people quit too early. Many people quit not because they're not capable. Yes, they quit because they're tired. They quit because they're frustrated. They quit because results are taking longer than expected. And we live in a world that celebrates overnight success. If we don't see those years of effort behind those, we don't see it behind the success stories. A lot of people do not see those efforts, but they only see that one, great the announcement, when your success is so loud. I remember this lady, she has this name close to it's like an Igbo name, but she's not Igbo. I think her name is Chi or something like that. Dochi. Yes, Dochi. Yeah. Doechi. And she won Grammys. And obviously, I mean, I think creatives can tell just by looking at her how much work she has put in. We only saw that one day. We only saw the Grammy, you know, but we didn't see. And some people say, where did she just come from? We're just hearing about her for the first time. And what's so special about her? Sweetheart, there's everything special about her. Her performance is something else. It was literally like Dochi's concept is never heard of. Dochi's concepts unheard of. So you could tell that she has put in her blood, not just her sweat. She has put her blood to get to where she is. I could tell, when I find people that have really mastered the art of, showing up, discipline, I can see. I think we know ourselves. you know, we a lot of times we see the finished products. We don't see the failures. We don't see the late nights. We don't see the setbacks. We don't see the moments where we questioned ourselves. It's normal. You start questioning your choices like, are you sure you have not made a mistake? Are you sure? But here is something I want you guys to remember. A lot of times, progress looks invincible before it becomes obvious. It's going to look invincible. I'm sorry to bust your bubble for a long time. It will look invincible for a long time. But one day, I tell you, the whole world will hear about you. You become that brand, that sought after brand. You become that content creator, that most sought after content creator. You'll be no you will know. You people are watching. They're watching. I just listened to one of my amazing mentors just before the live stream, and she said she was invited to come and speak because she's always, dropping gems, very short clips on Instagram. She's just always dropping like a 1 minute clip, like very life changing, gems for entrepreneurs for the most part. And she was invited by, a big corporation to come and speak at their events. And, they sent her the slides and they told her, use your regular speaking style, which means they've been watching her, they've been studying her. They said, don't try to make anything look formal. Just use your normal talking style. I just listened to her before this live stream and I was like, can you imagine? You see, because she kept showing up, even when she didn't feel like, even when it looks like you're losing money. Sometimes, honestly, sometimes you have to keep, pouring out and pouring out and pouring. And one day it will make sense. And let me even give you a story. Imagine two people starting the same journey. Both of them are talented, both of them are motivated. And after a few months, things actually get really difficult. One person quits, the other keeps showing up. It's not because they are talented, though. And not because they are smarter, not because they have more resources. They simply refuse to stop. They just refuse to stop. Fast forward 5 years later, who do you think is most likely to succeed? Who do you think? The person who quits or the person that remained consistent? Tell me. Success often belongs to the person who remains in the game long enough. So you don't have to be the fastest, you don't have to be the smartest, but you have to stay in the race. You have to stay in that race. And here are some reasons. I'm going to give you 3 reasons to keep showing up. Number one is that every day builds momentum. For people who struggle with consistency, as an example, for people who struggle with consistency doesn't mean that you show up perfect every day. No. Some days are like, some days are like, oh yeah. And some days are like, yes, we're on fire. But show up regardless. You see what I'm saying? Just show up regardless. And every single day builds momentum. For people that struggle with consistency, for example, by the time you show up, I think I heard a habit is built in 6 months. If you're consistent for 6 months, after 6 months, it becomes a part of you. So when you show up consistently like that, it just becomes you become naturally consistent. To the point where you fail to remember the times when you were not consistent because you can't even picture yourself not showing up at that point. Repeated, repeated daily actions create extraordinary results. Repeated daily actions create extraordinary results. One video, just one video, one workout, one sales call, one chapter, one customer. Small actions accumulate over time. Those tiny steps, like I always say, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a giant step, and um, you know, tiny drops of water makes a mighty ocean. Tiny, just keep dropping, keep dropping. You never know, and and that's why momentum is very powerful. Yes, momentum starts with showing up. And number two is you just never know how close you are. There's a story I heard of a man who has been, digging a mine looking for is it diamond or gold. He has been digging and digging and digging, and he got to a point he just gave up on it. And then one person came and bought the mine and took over, and the person just raised the whatever it is to dig, and the person found the gem. So you see, you just never know how close you are. One of the biggest tragedies of quitting, one of the biggest tragedies is when you quit before you break through. It is painful. Many people stop because they assume that nothing is working. But sometimes success is just around the corner. You just never know because the next opportunity, the next connection, the next idea. And just so you know, in fact, on Friday at the Juneteenth, someone came to me, to my table for the Juneteenth. I went there to showcase my business, and somebody came to me and, I was telling the person my brand story, how I started and how I, got to this point and how we launched a new business, the gold business and all of that. The person said, what? He was like unveiling. I didn't know who I was speaking with. And the person said, I would like for you to meet the congressman. And I was like, okay. And she was like, and then she gave me her card and said, please send me an email. I would love to, the congressman would like to meet you. Apparently, she works directly for him. And I was like, okay, thank you. And she kept saying, please make sure you email me. Please email me. And, for the first time, I took a picture of the card, just in case it gets missing. And I did email her. Thank you, Upo Silver. And thank you for joining. You're from Cross River State. You're interested, you're a farmer. Awesome. Thank you so much. So those are one of the hacks of showing up. When you show up, you just never know. You just never know. That next opportunity, the next connection, the next idea, that next client. You just never know which effort will create the breakthrough that you have been waiting for. So, because of that, keep showing up. And number three is because your future self is counting on you. Yes, think about where you want to be 1 year from today, 1 year from now. Imagine two versions of yourself: the version that quits today and the version that keeps going. Which future would you rather live? Would you rather live the future of the one that keeps going, or would you live the future of the one that quits today? Every day, whether you like it or not, you're writing the story. You are. Yeah. And every decision that you make matters. Every action that you take matters. And your future self is depending on the choices that you personally make today. I want everybody to actually, participate in today's, discussion. Type one goal that you are committed to, continuing. What's that goal that you want to continue? Not tomorrow, not next week, starting today. Yes. Whether you want to now start, eating right, or you want to lose weight, or you want to, upload content consistently, or you want to start saving money, or you want to start exercising regularly, or you want to learn a skill, or you want to start a side hustle, put it in the chat. What is that one goal that you are committed to doing or to continuing? Put it in the chat. Make it public. Make a commitment to yourself. I'm telling you, you don't have to, have everything all perfect. You don't even have to have everything all figured out. Just show up. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need unlimited confidence. You don't even need to have that confidence. You know what I'm saying? Just keep showing up. So I always say this in my every time I want to start my YouTube training. I always say you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. So you only need to keep showing up one day at a time, one step at a time, one effort at a time. Because some days, the truth is, you feel motivated. Some days you won't. Like today, I didn't feel motivated. I don't even know what the issue was today. It was just grounding me. Maybe because of more, all the work I have to do after the live stream. Maybe I'm kind of like overwhelmed in some way, you know. But I had to. I showed up eventually. I will definitely show up. Like you can never overpower my goal. Like I said, it's my goal. My vision is always bigger than the way I feel. Some days you feel motivated, some days you will not, but show up anyway. Some days you will see progress, some days you will not do. Show up anyway. Some days people will support you, some days they will not. And I think it can be, I don't know, it can be tough as an entrepreneur, where people, rather than support you, they ask you, oh, how is it going, how is business going, and they are holding, something that you sell, the products or service that you offer, and they are not supporting you. These are close people to you, and you're just smiling and like, okay. Personally, I've come to a point where I believe every client personally is God sent. That's why I value every single client I have. I believe, so if they don't patronize me, they're not God sent. That's the way I see it. So that way you're able to just understand that, okay, God did not send them to me, right? So some days people would, they will support you. Some days they will not. Just show up, because consistency beats motivation. I tell you, discipline, because commitment beats feelings. When you're committed to be successful, when you don't, there's no plan B anywhere. If plan A is to succeed, there's no plan B anywhere. And persistence beats talent for the most part, you know. So please, if there's anything at all that you've always wanted to, you've always wanted to achieve, any goal, but it's probably, at the back bench, I want you to get it out today and commit to, following through with those goals. Commit to, ensuring that those dreams come true. You are the architect of your own life. If no one is going to help you, then no one is going to stop you. Have you thought about it? If there's nobody to help you, then nobody's going to stop you, except you decide to stop yourself. So yeah, if there's something that you really want to do, get up and do it. Nobody's going to stop you. As long as nobody's going to help you, nobody's going to stop you. Don't quit today. Don't quit today, because there's so many, there are lots of moments that are coming that, you'll be glad you never quit. When something feels difficult, when something feels frustrating, when something feels overwhelming, your mind is looking for relief. I understand, and quitting can offer that solution. When you quit, it feels like temporary relief, like, finally. But see, it just tells you, you can stop trying, you can stop pushing, stop feeling uncomfortable. But you have to tie your feeling to the bigger picture. Tie it to the bigger picture. Yeah. It's something that, you have to you have to come to terms with it, that, hey, I want to be successful, and I'll do what it takes legally for, me to be successful in whatever it is that I do. I've learned also to pause instead of quitting. You can take a break. You can go on a vacation. You can, rest. It's okay. It's better than quitting. It's better. So you can pause instead of quitting. You can give yourself space. You can let that feeling settle. You can revisit it much later. But please do not quit because you just never know. I mean, I've had times like that I had to reset. I've had to take a break. But for that day, it probably felt really heavy. The urgency to quit was gone. Quitting any anymore. So distance also has a way of, softening intensity. Something that feels overwhelming today can feel manageable tomorrow. That's why you should not quit. Don't react. Don't let your emotions dictate your next line of action. What feels impossible in one moment can actually feel approachable in the next moment. So let's learn to give ourselves time. Let's give ourselves grace. Let's allow our emotions to regulate. Don't just walk based or make decisions based on your feelings or your emotions. That's why I've said it so many times on this channel. The worst time for you to make decisions or to make a decision is when you're extremely angry, or when you're extremely sad, or when you're extremely happy. Yes. When you're extremely angry, you say things that you don't mean, right? When you're extremely tired, like they say, tired eyes don't see a bright future. You just need to go and relax your head and feel better and then come back. And when you're extremely happy, that's when you'll be promising heaven and earth. You would have promised everything. It's like someone winning the lottery. Oh my goodness, if I win this lottery, I will give you half of it. And then you end up winning and you're like, oh, can I really part with half of it? So that's the worst time for you to make a decision. You have to make decisions with clear head. And not every hard moment means that you should stop. Quitters never win and winners never quit. Because something feels hard doesn't mean it's wrong. Growth is uncomfortable. I recently changed my workout style at the gym to weight loss workout. Or more. Ha. The sequence is hard. Like I literally cry every day when I'm leaving the gym. It's tough. You see, sometimes growth is uncomfortable, but I'm seeing results. Like I'm seeing massive results. So a lot of times changes come with resistance. Your brain wants to fight back. Like, "Ah, why should I do this? Why should I? And if we quit every single time that things feel difficult, we will never give ourselves the opportunity to go through it. We'll never give ourselves the opportunity to win. At the end of the day, there's a difference between something being wrong for you and something simply being hard. There's a difference between that. If something is wrong for you, it's different from and something is just being hard. When you learn to tell the difference, that is really, really powerful and it's gonna help you. And every time that you choose not to quit, even when you want to, you're building something along the way. You're building confidence, you're building momentum, you're building even trust in yourself, you're building resilience. You prove to yourself that you can handle discomfort, that you keep going, even when things are not easy, that you are not slowing down. I have a friend that is always screaming, all gas, no brakes, all gas, press it, press on. Don't press the brake for any reason. Don't. And I remember Michelle Obama saying something about, especially women married, having kids. She said, it's okay um to pause a little bit, but don't stop. That's what she said. Don't stop. It's okay to go slow. She mentioned that. It's okay to go slowly. At times you have to just slow down a little bit, just for things to take shape. But do not quit. Don't press the brakes. Don't press the brakes on your life at any point as a woman or even as a man. Don't. Just because you lost your job today doesn't mean that you should stop trying. Just because things are not working out today doesn't mean you should just give up on life. No, now you're not dead. You're still living. So we live to fight another day. So don't quit, And that's the mindset that changed everything for me. So instead of saying I'm done, I say, no, I can always try again. I can always try again. Take your time to think, take your time to reset, take your time to, breathe. And many times that feeling is just temporary. The feeling that, oh, let me stop, let me quit. It's just temporary. You just need a moment. And discipline is choosing to stay. Choose to stay. Staying does not always feel exciting. Does not always feel rewarding in that moment. Doesn't Sometimes it's discouraging. But guess what? Staying builds something deeper than motivation ever could. It builds discipline. And discipline is what carries you when emotions fluctuate. When your emotion is flying left, right, and center, discipline. Once you're disciplined, you know you're gonna ride through it. And what keeps you aligned to your goals, when it's what actually keeps you aligned, even when things feel uncertain. When it feels uncertain, you're still going. And that's what actually allows you to follow through no matter what. So when you do not quit, you are creating possibility to be successful for yourself. Not quitting creates that possibility of being successful. Give yourself one more day. Every day, give yourself one more day. Tell yourself, that let me try again another day. Don't quit on your goals. And I want to say big thank you to you guys for spending time with me today on this live stream. If this message has encouraged you, please make sure that you hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and share this live stream with someone who might need to hear it. Please remember that your dream does not require perfection. It requires persistence. So keep showing up, keep believing, and keep moving forward. And most importantly, do not quit. And I hope that with these few points of mine, I've been able to convince you and not confuse you that you should not quit from your dreams. Keep pushing and keep trying. And the sky is only the starting point. And I pray to God that, all of you watching me right now, I pray that God will give you the grace to follow through your goals, your dreams, and your aspirations, and may all your dreams and aspirations come true. In Jesus' mighty name, I pray. Amen. All right, thank you all so much. If you have any topic for me that you want me to speak about, leave it in the comments. I'll look at it and hopefully I'll speak on it next week. All right, take care of yourselves, guys, and God bless you. Bye for now.